Our next speaker is Mike Foy from a company called Yacht Spot. And I've often heard it said from industry outsiders that our business as yacht brokers, that we're still in the stone knives and bearskins phase of evolution, and there's a lot of advances we could take advantage of, but for whatever reason don't or aren't aware of them. I think Mike's company is one of these potential advances that could really elevate our game. It might scare a few people, it might excite a few people, but overall I find it to be quite interesting and quite valuable. And let's give a warm welcome to Mike Foy from Yacht Spot.
I'm shaking here. Hello, folks. Mike Foy, I'm the Director of Marketing for Yacht Spot. Jeff, thanks for the introduction. You know, I've learned a lot just listening to the former speakers, getting a feel for the people over the last night. So I got to be honest with you, come right out and say it, that we're a research company, and we do research the good old-fashioned way. JetNet is the name of the parent company. Yacht Spot is the product that we have developed to enable yacht professionals, folks in the yacht industry, to get a real picture of what's happening from a purely research standpoint. So with that outline, we hope you understand that pure research for us is a science, and it's melded with the art of delivery, okay? So 100% research. We have 50 researchers in Utica, New York. That's all they do all day is smile and dial. The topic we were asked to comment on today is our relationship with high net worth, ultra high net worth, filthy rich, call them what you will, people. So how do we get into this? What does it mean to you? So I'm going to try to summarize, because as my wife says, Michael, you could speak for days on end after the apocalypse hits. And it goes like this. Our company has pretty much established a stellar reputation in the aviation world, with OEMs, with insurance, with brokers, with Wall Street, you name it. And it's there for a reason. We were one of the first companies to get the information, put it in a usable form, make it fair, unbiased, and verified. Kind of like the Encyclopedia Britannica of aviation. That's our goal, that's our mindset. And it is a huge team effort. With me today, Paul Cardarelli and Kathy Dowd. Kathy Dowd has been in the game of research for 23 years. She is our director of Yacht Spot Research. I know this much, and she knows to infinity. So she's our expert here, and really hope that later on, if you have questions, that you'll put them her way. Paul Cardarelli, he's been with the company for 28 years. He's the director of world sales for JetNet. Not an easy thing. Okay, so we've got pedigree. We've got the mindset. We have an extraordinary team. 50 researchers smiling and dialing, 20 technical support people keeping the system alive 24 hours a day. I don't know if I can get this thing to work here. Here's a little bit about where it all starts. Now that's pretty cool. Okay, 30 seconds. That used to be a shoe warehouse. And the owners of JetNet, because we're privately held, took that and renovated it. So it's now a 30,000 square foot state-of-the-art research facility. And that's what we do. So when you see that, you understand the amount of time, energy, planning, and engineering to deliver our products. It's all about the master hive that it is, protecting the bee workers, and then creating internally all of our own products, lining up that data. Okay, so here's a shot Paul probably remembers. This is JetNet back in the day, 1988. The world of aviation sales, brokerage was handled by a very elite few. Dispersed across America in hotspot aviation towns, they were a very tough nut to crack. Along came this upstart company from Utica, New York, the foothills of the Adirondack Mountains, 70,000 is our population. And the gentleman had a concept. What happens if we could independently contact, verify, and then take that information and put it into the hands of the true professionals, not the owners, we don't sell to owners, but into the hands of people who really want to get a grasp of what's for sale, what's on lease, what's the life cycle, what's the average ownership life cycle, what type of financial position does that ultra high or high net worth individual have on the aircraft, those kind of thoughts. Literally hundreds of thousands of data points conceived, written into the questions that the researchers use. That's where it started. Back in the day, Paul was telling me a couple days ago, when the company first launched, spent a little over $1 million in the very first design and bought computers and satellite dishes rather. So your original subscribers to JetNet would get the program and a computer and a satellite dish. And we'd crunch all the numbers, send it up to the satellite, beam it down, and I guess some kind of trickle-down technology, whatever that was called, and it would trickle down into this little teeny tiny IBM computer. So now across basically North America at the time, this is the kind of information that was now available. Did they pay for it? Yes. Was it a great improvement of what they had? Absolutely. What does this all mean to you folks? Okay, so it's an organic growth of the activity of doing research. Our heads are down, we're smiling and dialing, and we are developing contacts. We're developing contacts that ran from starting with turboprops and pistons, into helicopters, into jets, light, heavy, medium, very light, into the commercial. Did I say helicopters, Paul? Okay. Eventually, we're running into yacht information. Now, running into yacht information is pure science-type folks. We don't want to ignore it because we know some place and time is going to have value. And this is that time. So we have spent the better part of 6 years understanding what that data means, compiling it properly, lining it up, and using our expertise that was informed by 28 years of aviation brokers, dealers, OEMs, valuing the data relative to the life cycle of the asset, the relationship of the high net worth individual to the asset, and the third thing, which is going to jump into my mind, oh yes, what are they going to do when it comes time for that asset relationship to expire? Did they come off lease? Are they at the point where we know a Gulfstream 650 is owned for X number of years? All of these critical data points, we line them all up and we put them together in products. These are a few of our, we got to tell you this here because we had 8 people designing this, and this was a slide that came up. We have literally thousands of people around the world in all aspects of aviation and yachtage, the yacht world, plugging into this. These are the folks that we research. These are our clients. They're your clients, probably some of you. And the other side of this is these are all folks that are serving high net worth and ultra high net worth individuals. We're in your world. We feel your pain, but it's a little bit deeper. We are putting out information on their assets, and you'll see in some of the slides, it gets deeper. They do not hesitate to call. And when they call and they want a correction or they want to give information, they want immediate gratification, and they get it. Our software, our collection system is designed, I don't know, was it 15-second delay? You call up and say, this information on X or Y is wrong, or I want to add this, and we put it up. Oh, up means this is on the internet, and it is an exclusive club. It is accessed by protected password, so people aren't just banging into this, but that's what they see. So across that whole slate, times an awful lot around the world, that's what our product and our process is held up to every day. Okay, I want to share this with you. We don't just use the phone call to, in many cases, the high net worth individual who will answer the call, or their manager who will answer the call. We also have another product that informs this. How do we know what we're doing? Paul is intimately involved with this product. It's called JetNet IQ. Some of you in the industry, for the yacht side, might be seeing this term, IQ intelligence, thrown around. I mean, it's wonderful. It's great. So we've been doing it for almost 6 years. It goes like this. We developed a survey that goes to no less than 500 high net worth, ultra high net worth individuals around the world. They know us, we know them, and they complete this very detailed report and send it back in. So we're getting a feel for what do they think of the economy? What's their brand loyalty? If they're going to upgrade, what are they thinking they're going to? I can't even begin to do it justice. It's 700 pages. Very intense, very detailed, and it is the type of product that we take snippets out and apply to various situations. This is one of them. This is a situation we're using this information to inform what kind of research we should do on the yachts, how to package it, and how to make it relevant for you. Every September, Paul? Yeah, so every September they get together 250, 300 people who pay to come and see this presentation at in New York City. So the Wall Street guys will be there, Bombardier, Gulfstream, OEMs, a panel of people to discuss that world. And we know and feel in our hearts that this is where the yacht feel may be going, because there's more and more, folks, it's happening that people from both sides are looking at each other. So what are we talking about? So we've taken this great concept and taken the two worlds and smashed it together. So we've taken what we know about aircraft and what we know about yachts, and we stuck it into a relational database. What does that mean? In our world, if you want to research that this gentleman's last name is O'Brien, if we have him in either under a yacht or an aircraft, it will bring up all of the information relative to Mr. O'Brien, shell companies, where he's located, assets that he holds, the tail numbers on the aircraft, the name of the yacht, all of it's relational. So now we can click, open up, and you can do research, okay? So that's the relational database. First time it's ever been done. First time it's ever been done. And this has empowered us to empower you to take a look at some of these relationships and how they're shaping. And that was one of the things that I enticed Cindy with, was that we're at the point now where we can tell you, very granular level, what brand of yacht, size of yacht is matching up with which aircraft by make and model. We can tell you how long that person has owned that jet, and the yacht too. If it's on lease, if it's a fractional position, did they buy it outright? Oh, you know what, Paul, I don't know if you can see that. If you can't see it, folks, top right corner, you see the little boat and the little aircraft? That tells you by looking, well, he's got two boats. That tells you when you're on this person, on this company information or individual information page, that's where it is. Okay? So that's, it doesn't do it justice when it's in front of you. It's, it's really exciting stuff. Okay. All right. We wanted to focus on one slice of all of this data that's been driving home the point that more and more contacts in both worlds are matching up for us. So we're starting with, ultimately, the people that have this kind of money. So this came out of our IQ presentation that Paul's involved with, just giving you an understanding that we're not taking information willy-nilly from wherever. This is internal. This is verified, deep research. Now we're putting it into a way that you can interpret where we're going. So we're going from the 50,000-foot level, high net worth individuals, and we're saying, okay, we're going to take that, we're going to match up with what we know about the world of aircraft. So we have that whole group of high net worth individuals, and by, what do we got here? By world area, the total aircraft that are serving their needs. And we can get down into real minutiae here. We can be in the weeds and tell you how many turboprops are in, Switzerland versus Poland versus Florida. So we're not going to go there. All right, now it's getting juicy. So now you've got the high net worth individuals, and I was cautioned to explain that the blue bar, you got to add 3 zeros behind that. So it's kind of like the U.S. has got 4,351,000 high net worth individuals who are being serviced by a jet fleet of, 12 something? I can't see, 12,000 something. All right. Just staying right there with that group, we're setting up where you're going to get some value, where you're going to say, what the heck is this guy talking about? But first, we just want to review how we set up our yacht research parameters. And I forgive me, Kathy, because if I stutter on this, just give me a slap. All right, so here we're trying to let you have an understanding of what we're researching from the yacht perspective. So these are the yachts that we're smiling and dialing, confirming, verifying, and building into the relational database so we can pull out that crossover information. All right, now we got this information, and we have all of this jet information. So what we're going to do now is say, how can we create an easy product for folks to use to prospect so you can get into this thing and go right for your sweet spot? 3 categories. Let me see, what is this thing? Oh, yeah, here we go. Woo! Okay. Yachts, aircraft, not yachts. I can't read that one. Yachts, not aircraft. So you see how it's flowing? So we're taking all of this data, putting it through sieves, sorting it out, and getting ready to drill into the next level. From our perspective, the blue represents what we have hands-on verified information on. 4,941 yachts, 24 meters and above, that fit those parameters. That red section represents the high net worth, ultra high net worth individuals that own both. That little red pie that owns both, we want to know what's going on with them, so we broke it down for you. Probably not surprising, but that's the breakdown by, we're at country here, for high net worth, ultra high net worth individuals that have a position on both a yacht and aircraft. Okay, never been done, first time. I don't know, anyone in the group from aviation brokerage? Okay, all right, so these guys are gonna hold my feet to the fire. Paul, get ready. All right, so they know something about this. This is the first time we basically created a report card. This is a report card that empowers you. It's how it works. You now know, based on that pie of dual ownership, that, whoa, go back one. Okay, we're going here. 71.3% of them have a jet. 19.1% have a helicopter. There's your turboprop, there's your piston. That's the list of the individuals. But way over here, we're now saying, let's break down the type of aircraft, but over here, that's where it happens for today's presentation. What's going on over there with the aircraft? I don't know. 71.3% are jets. That's what we want to mine for you to show you what you can do with that information. Okay, we know I could, run the report and show you, but I can tell you right now, this is the first time it's been announced to a group, period, that Citation is the #1 jet selected by all yacht owners worldwide. That's the make that they're into. We also can tell you the average ownership. We can tell you if they leased it. We can tell you if they have a fractional position. We can tell you many things about their relationship economically and on the time scale, okay? We can tell you that they like yachts that are 30 to 44 meters. And we can also tell you that it's a fairly safe disbursement, but Westport's got them by 12.7%. That's what we're tracking. That's what we're going to be reporting. That's the report card, if you will. But it does change at each model level. Citation, Paul has what, 10, 12? How many models does Citation make? Okay, so you have 10 models. I'm sorry, yeah, 10 models, all of which have a different yacht relationship. If they have one, you'll know it. So the Citation Sovereign, that's the #1 jet selection by the folks that have a Citation. That's the #1 pick. What's its range? What's its worth? How many are for sale? What does it sell for? Is it on lease? These are data points that you can have access to deeply, deeply understand. If you know somebody that has a yacht, that has one of these aircraft, you're learning about them. If they don't have a yacht, but you know they're a Citation 1 owner, there may be some tendency to follow the crowd. Maybe they all have a particular like. Here, what do we have here? Yeah, they like 30 to 44 meter boats, and the top brand is Trinity. What good is information if you can't export it and use it? This is the model that we learned from the aviation side. This is the model that we want to bring into your world, okay? So you're able to export the world of Citation Sovereign owners that don't have a yacht. Do you see what we're doing with the data? We're taking the two piles of information, sorting it, to give you folks an opportunity to say, oh my goodness, you can see where they're located, you can see their aircraft by tail number, you can figure out how many hours are on the plane, you can figure out pedigree. If there's one thing I could rip off, I'd like to take that screen down and fold it up and stuff it in each one of your pockets or pocketbooks, is this. And this is a tool that is the result of 28 years of relationship building, which is, tell me what I need to know, when I need to know it, to market and prospect. So we're taking the information relative to, in this case, those citations, and letting you know who owns them, where they're at, what's the timeline, how much skin do they have in the game, when are they going to be available for you to start marketing. Gulfstream, everyone loves Gulfstream. Great numbers. FedShip's a big winner. The #1 model, there it is again. FedShip jumps up to 36.4%. Again, you can export that, figure out, oh my goodness, these are the folks that you want to be able to manage somehow, some way in your relationships, and you understand the type of value they see in that jet and the yacht pairing. Same thing, you can design a prospecting tool to just go after those Gulfstreams. Okay, so we've talked, and I've gone kind of fast, but here's kind of the key crossover path thing, and we call it crossover. It's your ability to learn data from the jet side and apply it to your yacht prospecting and vice versa. Please believe me when I say this is not a tool or a concept, better yet, this is not a concept that only applies to the person who's got 65, 70 million for a jet. This is effective down to people who have a $200,000 or $300,000 or $400,000 plane. Could be a turboprop, because we know that there are boats that you folks have, represent, and want to sell. And we believe this type of information is going to help you reach them. Okay? You can use the tool to set up events. When is it new on market? When did they drop the asking price? When is it off lease? When is it off fractional? And you can set it for your target aircraft value and or possible yacht value. You got the company crossover view, put in a name. You always wanted to know what John Travolta was doing. You wanted to know what Bill Gates was doing. You wanted to know what Roman Romano Bogdanovich was doing. You have a name, you put it in, you hit go, and you're going to see the relationships. Please don't forget fractional. Fractional is very, very successful in the aviation world. We know it, we track it, and we report every day what is happening in the fractional ownership position world. At some point in time when these folks are ready, they're going to be looking to either upgrade, downgrade, go sideways, and we want them thinking of a yacht. That's a list of the fractional shares that they have, which can easily be computed into how much cash they're putting out and when they expire. Please don't forget the charter fleets. People say, well, Mike, that's kind of a soft prospecting concept. Yes, I agree. Here's a list of the top charter fleet companies around the world. You can click on these and you can see what assets they have. Are they Gulfstream crazy? Are they Citation crazy? Are they, are they Honda Jet? What might it be? Are there people there, are there relationships there that you want to mine one-to-one for your charter or for your entree into these type of people that they have great relationships with? Aviation people are all about more business. Okay? Don't forget the prospector. You can build that to suit your needs. You can use this thing to track people all the way down to their airport. You can track them by their tail numbers. So, knowledge is power. We believe that crossover data mining is extremely important. We know that the markets are not going away. People with money are going to fly. They're going to fly private. If you know what they're doing, when they're doing it, how they're doing it, why they're doing it, and can take that data and use it for your prospecting and relationship building, all the better. So that kind of sums us up, and I'm hoping you have some questions because Paul and Kathy have accompanied me here, and they're just like dying to talk. Thanks, guys.
I have a question. How many vessels do you have in your database at the moment, and what's the average size?
Like we said, 24 meters and above. Actually, that's the size, the age, 1988, but we also cover historical and older yachts, depending on why we enter them. Not all of them are 1988. The bulk are 1988 and above.
So of that 5,000 vessels, how many owners are you tracking that are linked to those 5,000 vessels?
How many owners have been identified?
Correct.
Well, I know that in the crossover, there are 450 crossover owners that have been identified out of the 5,000 that we're tracking.
Thank you.
That's it. All right, thanks, gang. You're coming up this way.